Lately, I've been thinking about building a PC. Not a modern one, but the kind of computer I first came across as a kid. It was around 1996 or 1997. I can't recall the exact year, but today I know it was the moment that shaped a big part of my life. I don't remember the exact specs either, but I know it was rather a mid-range machine based on the original Intel Pentium processor running Windows 95. Today, I've managed to gather a few components from that era, and I'm going to build a machine the way they did 3 decades ago. Let's start with the motherboard. Here we have a Socket 7 Soyo SY5TF board based on the Intel i430HX chipset. For the CPU, we're using an Intel Pentium Model P54CS running at 133 MHz. It definitely needs a proper cooling solution. I've already applied some thermal paste to the base of the heatsink, so you can't see how clumsy I am at this. Next up, the memory. I've got 4 sticks of EDO RAM, 8 megs each. That gives us a staggering total of 32 megabytes, which was quite an amount for the time. An S3 Trio 64V Plus video card, a pretty common and solid choice back in the day. An ISA sound card based on the Yamaha OPL3 chip. For input, along with the DIN connector for the keyboard, I also need to install this COM port for the mouse. Now let's hook up all the necessary ribbon cables. Here comes one for the CD-ROM, one for the hard drive, and one for the floppy drive. Since this is an AT motherboard, it needs an AT power supply with the P8 and P9 connectors. Always make sure the black wires stay together in the middle. This 2.5 GB Samsung hard drive has its jumpers on its main PCB, so let's set it to master. The LG CD-ROM drive will be the only device on its IDE channel, so let's set it to master as well. Now we can attach the ribbon cables to all the drives, and connect the appropriate power cables to each of them. Back in the day, you had to use a cable like this to connect your CD-ROM drive directly to your sound card to hear music from your CDs. Let's not forget to power the CPU fan. Instead of plugging in the buzzer, I could connect the PC speaker output directly to the sound card, but I prefer having it this way. Now let's double check the motherboard jumpers for the CPU voltage, multiplier, and FSB clock. And I think we're done. I can't wait to start playing with it, so I'll skip putting it in a case for now. Finding a nice chassis for it will be a task for another day. Alright, here comes the moment of truth. It's alive! It posts! Even the drives seem to be detected correctly on the first try. Those old hard drives were really noisy. Let me play that again for you. The CMOS battery is dead though, and on this motherboard, this means replacing the whole RTC chip, and I don't have any spares on hand. Feeling all yet? Let's install Windows 95. Now for the Windows installation, I'll fast forward through this, along with setting up the drivers. I have to admit though, it didn't go as smoothly as putting the hardware together. I actually had to install Windows twice. For the first time, I ended up with a total mess in the Windows Device Manager. Some devices were missing, like the IDE channel, so my CD-ROM drive wasn't working. For some devices, I couldn't install the proper drivers. The only way I could get it working was to pull out the sound card, install Windows again, install all the drivers except for the sound card, then put the sound card back in and install its drivers last. Finally, this is the moment I've been waiting for the whole day. That iconic, magical sound. The one that opened the doors and windows to another world. And what's the first thing to do on a fresh Windows 95 install? Running some DOS games, of course. Unfortunately, after all that hassle with installing Windows and drivers, it was already getting late, so my joy couldn't last for long that day. But I'm definitely planning to get some nice period-correct chassis, replace the RTC module, and maybe give this machine some proper upgrade. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.